So today I will be installing the first mod on the Fortune Taco of the new year. And I'm sure you already know from the thumbnail, these are the brand new Morimoto XB Evo headlights. We're gonna be getting these things put on the Fortune Taco. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. If you are new here, then welcome to my channel. I'm Chris. Right behind me, this is the Fortune Taco. And if you haven't seen one of my videos before, then you probably don't know who Midnight is, but anybody who's seen my videos before, they are definitely familiar with Midnight. We got a new addition just this week. I want to introduce you guys to Coraline, aka Cora. This is a new little rescue that me and my wife got from one of her friends out in Texas. And you're probably gonna be seeing more of this one. You already saw from the intro and you already know from the thumbnail, we're getting rid of these headlights. And we are gonna be putting some Morimoto XB Evos here on the Fortune Taco. They come with all the wiring, all the hardware, everything you need. The cool thing here is the packaging comes with all wiring harnesses needed, no matter what your trim level is. So you have a wiring harness here for the full LED headlights that are on like the TRD Off-Road Premiums and the TRD Pros. There's gonna be a harness in here for the TRDs or anybody that has the halogen headlight setup with this DRL little bar here. And then there's one last one for the base model with these new XB Evos. There's just only one option to pick. And then you get to customize and choose how you want it set up when you get the lights. It comes with everything you need. One addition you can add to these as well, on the bottom side of the light, this is the pretty much computer of the headlights. This is the driver is what they would call it. You can get an optional upgrade like I got here. These are the XB Evo superchargers. Morimoto claims these drivers will add 30 to 50% more light output. I don't think I'm gonna install these today. I'm gonna install the lights as they are because I kinda wanna test out just how they are stock from factory, see how bright they are and compare them to what I'm used to. And then I'll most likely do a follow-up video later on, adding these, and maybe I'll do a little comparison, seeing what it's like with a factory driver, or I should say the original driver, compared to the actual supercharged driver. We might do a separate video if people are interested in that and seeing the comparison of light output from the standard to the supercharged. If you do have a stock factory bumper, there's gonna be a couple extra steps you're gonna have to do that I won't, and it's not something I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna be linking a video right up here in the top right corner. This is to a video that Jesse Rizzo did, taking off your factory front bumper. Follow his steps. He makes very awesome detailed videos, so you can follow those to get the bumper off. But these few tools we'll need here, excluding taking off the factory front bumper, a ratchet of some sort with a 10mm head, some clip removal tools. You can even use one of the plastic like panel popping tools, some cutters, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Let's go ahead and get into taking the factory headlights off the truck so we can get the new XB Evos installed on the Fortune Taco. So we need to obviously pop the hood. We need to take off the factory grille. Once you have the grille off, you would then have more access to pulling off the factory front bumper if that's what you need to do. What I need to do is take off this Running for Tacos front bumper cap with both the grille off and this bumper cap off. There are gonna be 2 bolts on top. These are both 10mm. There is a third bolt right here under this bumper cap. That's a third 10mm. And that is it. That's all that's really holding this in. And then this bottom clip, it just sits kind of around a factory mount. All we have to do is slide it off of that. So that's kind of more just a support kind of holding onto it, keeping it steady. As I'm sitting here filming this video, FedEx is showing up bringing me another package. You too. Look at that. While I'm in the middle of filming for the XB Evo headlight install, another Morimoto package shows up. Coming soon in another video, we're gonna be putting the XB taillights on the Fortune Taco. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying this video and if you're interested in seeing more content like the XB taillights. All right, so as I'm getting into this and starting to pull pieces off, I realized This wasn't something I thought about when I did the bumper install, of course. I can't pull my grill off without taking the bumper off. I'm definitely not gonna take my bumper off just to do a headlight. So I kind of got some of these pieces pulled away. They're pulled far enough away that I was able to get access to the one bolt here. And this is gonna be something from factory. So you'll have this bracket that bolts through the fender into the headlight. And then there's a little plastic snap part here below underneath the fender. It goes in there. This piece comes off, which then frees up this side. These two bolts. And then once you do actually have the grill and the bumper and everything pulled off, you have the whole lower end exposed, which mine is. So with those two popped off, the last point of contact is what I kind of talked about before. It's this right here. Locked in there pretty good. There we go. Without removing too many of these pieces, because that would have been a pain, I'm gonna see if I can get this out. Let's probably disconnect your wiring first. There we go. There's a lot more wires to disconnect there than I was expecting. So we got that factory light taken out. From the factory here, we have 5 plugs. Going over to our harnesses, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, you're gonna get every harness for every trim level. You have to find the one that fits your vehicle. This is the smallest harness, the shortest, least amount of wires. This is for if you have factory LED, TRD Pro and whatnot. On the end of here, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plugs. The harness with 5 plugs is gonna be for the non-DRL factory lights. Not these with the little bar here. The third harness is gonna be the one I will be using specifically for my application. We're gonna have 6 plugs at the end of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 plugs will be for anybody that has the factory headlights with this LED DRL there. The big plug on the one end is what is gonna go into the XB Evo headlights. The rest of these correspond to a factory plug other than one. I believe it's gonna be this very, very small one. We'll get to that in just a minute, but we're gonna line all these up, and I believe they should all be completely different plugs, so you can't mix them up. So now everything's plugged in except this one I'd mentioned that didn't have a home yet, is gonna go to this resistor. So because these are full LED, this resistor helps do that job to make sure these are gonna work properly. So the nice thing about this, having a very large magnet, you can take this, and Morimoto is going to recommend to place it right down in this area on this metal here. That magnet is very, very strong. I don't have an issue with that thing just sitting there. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Now that we have all of this wired up, it's going to be time to actually go and put our light in. So I'm just taking all these wires and just for now, feeding them back up into where the battery is at, just to keep everything out of my way. One last thing, before we go ahead and take this headlight to the truck, we're gonna wanna install this plastic trim piece. You can take the one from factory off the headlight you pulled out. In my case specifically, I am gonna be using these Miso Customs covers. We're gonna very gently hand screw these in. Do not wanna over tighten these. They're just screwing into plastic of the headlight. If you over tighten these, you're definitely gonna strip this out. All right, now that we have this trim piece on, there's one last thing to address. I think I already kind of mentioned it, but if you have the supercharged drivers, oh yeah, look how red and shiny those are. This would be a good time to install these. Because I'm waiting a little bit longer to do another video, I am not gonna be installing mine right now, but since you have access to it, this would be the best time to do it. There's 4 screws to take out. Pull this out, pop the new one in. Luckily, because I have a aftermarket high clearance bumper, I have access to the bottom of my headlights, so I can replace this without taking the headlight out. Very easy. If you have a factory bumper, that might be a little difficult. So if you have those superchargers during your install, I definitely recommend do them before you put the headlight into the truck. So with that in there, obviously I'll line these 2 tabs up here. This clip itself from the headlight, you want to push back towards the engine bay to pop that in there. Another thing you want to make sure your fender is all lined up well. When I first put this in, the headlight was going back into this cavity. It was kind of back behind the fender. So make sure this all lines up and looks good there. All right, so now I went ahead and got both headlights installed without them being powered on or lit up or anything like that. They look awesome. I just love the attention to detail. Crazy. The more you look at them, the more you see. I don't have anything plugged in, so what I need to do is get the wiring all finished up on these. So for me specifically, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain to get access to my fuse panel because I have this S-Pod system here mounted to the top of my fuse panel. Once you get the fuse panel opened up, there are two 10 amp fuses right here. The one on the right facing this way, so closest to the fender, is going to be connected to your electronic fuel pump system. That is the fuse that Morimoto says to tap into with their fuse tap. So using this system here, we're going to pull that fuse out and put their fuse tap in. So with that fuse pulled out, I'm going to add in the provided fuse tap from Morimoto. And then we're gonna have to feed this wire somehow to get it out of the cover. Closer to the firewall, there's this brown fuse and blue fuse. There's this little kind of canal right here. Morimoto recommends trimming up a little bit of the cover here to feed the wire out that way. Just trim up that end piece, and then you can feed the wire from that fuse tap out that way. This longer cable, it has all these yellow end connectors on them. The way to tell them apart, you have this one that is very, very short, maybe about 4 or 5 feet coming off the right here. And then this one is about 6 feet. So your longest wire will go to the passenger headlight. The shortest, this one that's only a couple inches long, is go to the driver's headlight. And then the second shortest one is gonna go to that wire that we just popped out of the fuse box. Snap that in. We're gonna have to run all this so it looks pretty. We're gonna take this very, very short one like I mentioned, and this needs to go to our driver's side. There is this blue wire with the female end that'll match up to this yellow connector. And then for that passenger one, it's probably gonna be easiest to run it along the top of this front radiator support. Now here on the passenger side, same thing. There's gonna be a blue wire. That'll be the last of our connections for that specific wiring. This wiring bundle from factory that we wired up everything to earlier, that's gonna get plugged into this one main connector. You can only put it in one way. Press that till it clicks. I kind of briefly touched on it before, but these two blue caps plugged into the ends of these wires. This is your DRL selector. Blue that came installed from Morimoto. There's black, red, and green. So from factory, Morimoto has the blue cap installed here. Now what these colored caps do, they're all gonna change settings within the headlight as far as what your DRL color is and what the flash pattern is for when you turn your blinker on. The blue connector is gonna give you a white DRL, and then when you turn on your blinker, it'll switch to amber, but it'll be in a sequential pattern. To switch the plug here to the red one is gonna keep the DRL white, but when you turn on your blinker, instead of the sequential, it's going to give you a fade on, fade off, fade on, fade off. Green one, this is going to then change the DRL to amber all the time, and it'll be a fade off and fade on. And then the last but not least, the black is going to be an amber DRL with the sequential amber turn signal. So you can switch these up whenever you want. All you have to do is make sure the truck is off and the headlights are turned off before switching these. But you can switch these every single day if you honestly wanted to switch it up and give your truck a different look. That is one cool feature built into specifically the XB Evos. For me personally, I want to go with the green option. I'm going to plug in the green on this side. Hopefully everything's connected and hooked up properly. I'm going to go ahead and power on the truck for the first time, see what happens. All right, hopefully we did get a little startup sequence there. Since I was in the truck, I did not get a chance to see it, but we got those things powered up. Those look good though. I really like that amber DRL. It's a very clean, crisp looking color there for the DRLs. The amber looks awesome. So, like I mentioned with that green cap installed, the DRLs are gonna be amber, and then when we turn on our turn signals, I'm gonna go ahead and just pop on the hazards here. You're gonna see a fade off kind of feature for the turn signal here. And the black caps are gonna keep that amber DRL, but when we turn on the blinker, instead of the fade off feature we had with the green caps, it is gonna be a sequential. This is with the black caps. When the blinkers are on, you get this really cool looking sequential feature for the blinker. We're gonna put in the blue ones that were installed from Morimoto originally. So now I got the blue caps back in. Turn this on, wait for that little power up. So we have the white DRL now here because we put that blue connector back in. But as you can see, when we turn on, it is gonna be an amber sequential turn signal. The red cap is gonna give you that fade off kind of blinker feature. And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the hazards, and you'll see it is doing amber in that fade off feature. So that is gonna be it. We got the headlights installed, and dang, do they look good. What do you guys think? Is this something you would rock? I think Morimoto knocked it out of the park with these new XB Evo headlights. They look really good. I might be a little biased, but that amber color with the Barcelona red, I like the combo. I would love to do some night testing with these and get a video for you guys. I'm not sure how well it would come out in video, but one thing I'm for sure gonna do, so I'm gonna be making another video doing a light output test on these just to really put them to the test and show you guys true numbers rather than just, hey, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go with a couple of my buddies. One that has the factory halogen headlights, kind of just like what I had, with halogen bulbs, so kind of your baseline level for Toyota Tacoma headlights. And then I have a second buddy who has the full LED headlights from Toyota. I want to take all three trucks, factory halogen, factory LED, the new Morimoto LEDs, put them side by side and do some light testing and measuring them with an actual light meter so I can give you true numbers and showing you what the light output is from these lights. Thank you, Morimoto, for sending these out. I have the taillights to install as well, as you guys saw from earlier. I need to get those thrown on, and this is gonna be a full Morimoto truck. If you stuck around all the way to the end, one, I appreciate you. Two, I need your help. I need you to drop a thumbs up on this video so it can be more successful and get seen by people just like yourself. If you have watched my videos before, or this is your first time watching a video and you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button so you'll be able to see anytime I make a future video on the channel. If you have any questions about these XB Evo headlights or anything in general about the truck or just for myself, drop a comment down below. I try my best to reply to every comment that's left on my videos. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I will see you on the next video.